All right. Happy New Year. This is Matt Morozic, and it's been a while since I've done a video. I just did a quick video on the Flash I just finished up yesterday. I've had a lot of people ask me, hey, where are your videos? Well, as I say many times, sometimes I just have to work, and videos slow me down. So I just have to paint. Very productive week this past week since I've been on vacation. We had a great holiday with the family, pretty relaxed, a lot of family time. And then I just used this time to really try to play catch up. So far I've cleared 4 projects off the bench in the past week and a half, which is pretty amazing. I got the Gravin Labs Cyclops done. I got a Batman prototype done. I actually got him painted in 3 days. It was a pretty simple piece, and the quality was really high. I spent a day or so previously getting it prepped. So the Cyclops prototype, which I did 2 of, the Batman prototype, the Flash, and then I'm working on an Eric Sosa Cyclops repaint here. He's next up in line. And for everyone who's been waiting on an update on the Hulk versus Thor prototype, it actually got put on hold for several months because shortly after I got it, they told me they were redoing Hulk's head, or one of them. So I told them, okay, well, I'm not going to do anything until I get all the pieces. So a couple weeks ago, I got a new Hulk head, and I also received an additional Thor head without the helmet. I thought there was one there, but I didn't get it initially. So anyway, I just want to kind of do a recap of this year, of the 2018, and say Happy New Year, everyone. And first of all, I want to thank everyone who's subscribed to my channel. I've hit over 6,000 subscribers, which for me is a lot. I know some of these guys out there have tens and hundreds of thousands of subscribers, like Rad Titan and Gem Mint and all those guys. They do mostly reviews and stuff like that, and talk about statues and stuff like that, where my channel is mostly specifically model related, as far as like how I do things, what I've learned, any tips or tricks that I have on how to do stuff. Anyone who watches me they get to watch me screw up a lot and how to fix those mess ups. They get to watch me drill holes in my hands and cut myself. It's all part of the process. My videos are very, I shoot and upload. I don't do any editing because I don't have time for that. So whatever you see is what you get. Nothing fancy, and that's just kind of me in general. I mean, I'm in my PJs, same pajamas I was in yesterday. Because like I said, I've been using this past week to really just catch up on projects. And my studio's a mess right now, so I'm going to spend a day cleaning it up. I got to clean all my airbrushes and brushes. But again, just a recap for 2018 was pretty amazing. I completed 20 pieces, which is an enormous amount of work for me to do in a year. It's the most I've ever done. Previously, I think I did 16 pieces. Sorry, I'm enjoying one of my favorite beers while I chat. I think the previous year was 16 pieces. But a lot of those were like little, like a couple of tournaments and little mini busts and stuff like that. So those were, I'd say, relatively easy to knock out. Those were kind of like my first delve into figure building. But 20 quarter scale pieces this year. I estimate 2,000 hours of work went into building and painting this year. That's a lot, considering I have a full-time job and a family and other commitments and stuff. So yeah, that's a lot. Starting off with the year, I did the Mad X Hulk. Right after that, I did the 3 Hellboys. I did 2 of the Salt and Pepper Robins. I only photographed 1 because the second one was exactly the same. I think I did 8 prototypes altogether, which is pretty crazy. Actually, let me get my tablet out so I can go over the list of things I completed this year, because I have my album. I did a post on Facebook earlier today, kind of going over what I did this year. As far as, I just had it and I gotta find it. Here we go. Let me find this one. Here we go. So the first piece I completed for the year was the Mad X Hulk. That was for So New. Then I did 3 of the Nairn Hellboys, all at the same time, which was quite an undertaking. I thought it would take me less time to do 3 at one time, but it actually took me the exact same amount of time as if I did 3 individually. Like I said, I did 2 of the Salt and Pepper Robins. I did one of the Eric Sosa Spideys, this guy right here. I did 2 of these guys, the Secret Empire Captain America prototypes. I did 2 of those. One was for me and one was to to send to China. By the way, all these pieces that I'm showing you, none of them are available. They're all sold out of production. Finished up what I'm considering my last mech for a very long time, at least a commission mech. My client waited over a year for me to finish this piece. I mean, this thing has 225 hours easily into it. They take forever. And it was a very big hit at Wonderfest this past year. Actually, I did 4 Hellboys. Here's the 4th one. That was for an individual. I did an Eric Sosa Wolverine. Cool piece. Got a lot of positive feedback on that. I did the Gravens Labs Beast prototype. He's been really popular. A lot of people are asking. The wait list on this, I think, is like as long or double as long as the edition size. My first Superman ever. Happens to be a prototype too. And then I did the Kingdom Come Superman, which I had mixed comments on this. I had a lot of people tell me it looked really great. Then I had a lot of people tell me it looked like complete ass. So the latest trend going around now, someone took a very close screen capture of his face and commenting on his eyebrows. And after looking at it, yeah, I probably should have like maybe painted past the sculpt of the eyebrows. I just painted exactly where they're sculpted, and I probably should have painted past that. So I take all these comments, whether they're negative or positive, and I stick them in the back of my head, and I store that for further use to improve. So yeah, so mixed feelings on this one, but the guy that has it loves it, and that's all that matters, and I'm happy with it. So critique away, because I'll just take all that information and store it for further use. And then I did that was my second Superman. This was my third Superman. This is a prototype. He was a fun piece to do. And then the Gravens Labs Cyclops, which I did 2 of those. This prototype, which I just finished. And of course the last one, which is the Flash. So a lot of stuff out this year. So a couple highlights. The fact that I just had so much support from collectors and other pages about my work. Probably the highest point was when Sideshow, contacted me back in June and asked me if I'd be interested in painting for them. Of course, that fell through based on the fact that everything I do is pretty much unlicensed fan art, and they just didn't want to have me kind of tied to Sideshow because of that, which I understand. So again, as I said in my video about that, no hard feelings, but it was really flattering that they contacted me, and it was very again, probably a high point of the year for me, because it just shows that my work's getting looked at, it's getting appreciated, shows me I'm doing something right, whether I've got the haters out there that make rude and unnecessary comments about me or my work. Critique my work all you want, but if you say something negative about me that's just not true, I'm going to call you out on it. So feel free to do so. I'll fight you on it. There was a comment, the video, particularly on the video where I was announcing where I wasn't working for Sideshow, someone made this long comment like how I finally admitted I wasn't as good as I thought I was, and yada yada yada. And I basically said, look man, if you can point out where I said any of that, please let me know so I can correct myself, because I don't think anywhere I've ever said, I'm hot stuff or I'm the best at anything. I am far from that. A lot of guys give me a lot of positive feedback, a lot of positive comments. I know areas I need to improve, constantly working on that. Even the snarky remarks about the eyebrows and stuff, I'm like, yeah, there's a good call out, and there's a whole post about it. It's like 30 comments on it. And like, yeah, you're right. I probably should have painted outside the eyebrows a little bit. And so now I get that in the back of my head, and I'll take that into consideration on a piece that's similar to that. So yeah, but for all the haters, there's 100 times more people that have lifted me up and have given me support, and just none of my stuff is perfect. I'll tell you that right off the bat. Everything I've ever painted or built, it's got mistakes somewhere. Anyone that says they can do that, I always say, I dare say they're lying. I don't believe there's ever a perfect anything. There's always somewhere to improve, and my stuff is right there with that. Certain things I'm better at. I'm much better at anything that's skin tones are still my toughest thing to do, and I'm getting better at it. I've finally kind of got a few little techniques where like, okay, no, I want to get this look. This is what I got to do. So I'm getting there because I'm painting more. And the more you paint, it's like playing a guitar or anything. The more you do it, the better you get at it, the more efficient you get at it. So yeah, since I've painted so much, I'm building my painting chops. I come from a mecha background where there was no skin involved. It was all hardware. So, there was nothing about trying to recreate a realistic look to anything. It was just kind of do what you want to do. So now I'm having, the past year, 18 months, I'm working with clients who want a certain look, and which it's fine. That's their piece. They need to get what they want and what they're paying for. So it's just good for me as far as forcing me to push myself. If you follow me on Facebook, my Matt's Models Customs page on Facebook, I did a whole kind of like, paragraph review, kind of like this video is. But so far, I think my best work that I've done, in my opinion, is the Secret Empire Captain America. That piece was just so insanely, there's so much detail in it. It really pushed me in every sense as far as like what my painting capabilities are at this point, or that I had at that point back in May or whatever it was. It was a really challenging piece. It didn't have a whole lot of skin. The faces, it had the faces in the arms, but excuse me. But what was really challenging is the insane amount of detail in it. The helmet alone, I think I have like 12 different tones of color in there. And then the base, I spent a lot of time trying to fix that concrete column in the base, which I later find out they didn't do for the production pieces. It's removable and you can totally see where it doesn't fit, which really bugs the crap out of me. I wish they would have fixed that for the production pieces because it looks so much better when it actually sits in there flush the way it's supposed to. I wish they would have taken that comment or that critique into consideration when they made the production pieces. Still looks cool, but that to me is a big negative of that piece, that they didn't fix the way that column fit in the back part of the base. I have a whole, not a whole work in progress series, but I have a work in progress series on just fixing the column. That took me a good day and a half to do. But yeah, I think that's my best work as far as consider skin tones, detailing, weathering, just everything that I know painting wise was kind of thrown into that piece. And I think, personally, I think this is my best work so far. Other people may have other opinions on what they feel is my best, but personally, I'm really, really proud of that. I'm actually proud of everything I've done this year. I painted my first Hulk, which happened to be a Mad X Hulk, which is a massive piece. He got mixed reviews too. A lot of people didn't like the yellow fingernails, but that was a client request. So I like the yellow fingernails. I think it looks kind of cool. I thought the green skin tone on that was, in my opinion, again, I'm gonna talk about myself and how good I am here for a second. So all of you guys who have always said I think I'm the best. I think the green skin tones on him are some of the best that I've seen personally on the Hulk. I think they looked amazing. If you're at Wonderfest, you saw the piece in person. It has a lot of depth. In the whole painting series of that, you can see all the way down to the primer, which is a green primer. It's just got layer on layer on layer. Just looks really good. Looks really fleshy, very realistic. And then I had some critiques on that piece, like the teeth. I was called out on the teeth, so. When I was sent the piece back, I went in and I fixed the teeth. I tore the pants up based on some critiques and what the client wanted. So I take the critiques and I don't mind a bad critique or negative critique. I guess it's in the manner in which they're done. Because any critique, positive or negative, is always useful for an artist or for anyone, because you can take that information and then use it for later use. So I don't really get offended when people say something sucks or it looks terrible, but I guess maybe in the manner that it's done kind of irritates me sometimes. But again, like the eyebrows on Superman, there's a whole post about it, and there's a lot of snarky remarks. Like, you know what, I'm just going to let it go. I'll just, I'll make a little reply saying, you guys are right. I probably should have improved that a little bit. So now I'm going to take that and use it for later. But yeah, for every piece, I'm really proud about it. I've taken a lot of what I used in painting mechs and I apply it to the figures. I had a really nice comment on the red on the Flash and how the red doesn't look muddy. And so I replied to him on how to achieve that. Because red is one of the toughest colors to do on anything. Red inherently does not cover well. It was like that when I painted cars. If I was painting a red car, I had to use twice as much paint because it just does not hide well. For whatever reason, it's got a really shitty job of hiding. So I use that to my advantage. I explained how I do the reds. And so skin tones, like the Batman I just did, the prototype Batman, I'm really happy with the skin on his face, and I'm really happy with the lips and everything. I think they look really good. I look at a lot of pieces, and I personally think that a lot of skin tones are too pink. Again, this is just me, relatively new to the statue world, and I look at a lot of skin tones like, man, he's really pink. People aren't pink. I'm sorry. I'm about as white as you can get. I'm not pink. My skin has a lot of yellow in it. It has a lot of green in it. Hispanics, they have a lot of green in their skin. African Americans, they have a lot of red undertones. So I think a lot of pieces, and again, this is just my opinion and my take on skin tones, I think a lot of them are too pink. So maybe when I do something which I think looks more correct, I think a lot of people may think that they look off, but I guess it's comparing to other ones. Like I said, I always refer to Soul. Soul's skin tones are amazing. They look realistic. He's got all the little subtle shades going on in there. He's got all the little hair follicles and freckles, and I mean, they look really, really good. And if you look at his skin tones, there's all sorts of colors going on there. There's pinks, there's greens, there's purples, there's yellows, there's blues. There's all sorts of colors going on in there. It's just not pink. So I'm trying to integrate all those colors into skin, because skin is really a whole rainbow of colors. Veins can be blue, green, or purple, depending on how deep they are, how close they are to the surface of the skin. So a lot of guys ask for green veins. Well, like, my veins aren't green. I mean, some of them are, but some of them are blue, and some of them are kind of purple. Depends on how close and what kind of vein it is to the surface. If you look at your hand, there's purple. I have purple veins. It depends on the type of vein, how close it is to the skin, and stuff like that. So I'm taking all this information, all these critiques, and just trying to store it in the back of my head to help improve my work. So again, I ramble a lot, so sorry about that. But anyway, 2018 was a great year as far as me as a modeler, just meeting people online. Wonderfest, I met some really cool people I hadn't met in person before, like John Fielder, or not John, sorry, Jason Fielder. My mind's kind of fried. Been working till like 2 a.m. every night, finishing stuff up. So I had a great Wonderfest, I'm going to go again next year. I don't know if I'll have anything, to be honest. I'll probably, unless I pay people to ship me stuff and me ship it back, I may not have anything. So I'll just go to enjoy the show and not worry about the model contest. Also enjoy looking at the pieces, but I may not have anything to enter, which is okay. But yeah, so my goal during this holiday vacation was to kind of get caught up on what was on my bench at that moment. The Graven Lab Cyclops was one, this Batman prototype was one, this Flash was one, and the Cyclops repaint is one right here that I'm doing for Chris. So Chris has been extremely patient with me. Thanks, Chris. So I'm going to get that done, and then I'm going to start cracking again on this Hulk versus Thor prototype. The next piece on my client contract list will be the 1/4 scale Morbius, which I'll probably start working on. Once I get really close to wrapping up the Cyclops repaint, I'll pull him out. And then, I typically have three to five projects going on at one time. It helps me sometimes because, especially when I'm dealing with clients that are on the other side of the globe, unless you're a flat earther the other side. We all know it's round. On the other side of the globe, the time differences can be tough. So I may be finishing something and I need approval on a step. Well, they may be asleep, so they can't answer my question on approval. So I can work on something else while they're, our time kind of line up. So when I get up in the morning around 6:15, I typically have a lot of PMs from people on the other side of the world, either answering me questions or asking me things about their projects. And then during the day, I'm dealing with people in the States and that are still awake. So what else about 2018? Yeah, haters are going to hate. Nothing you can do about that. I have a ton of supporters and a lot of people that look at my work and comment on it, and I really appreciate that. If you're going to, comment negative or positive, like I said, feel free to do so. I take all those comments and I use them for future, references as far as what I can improve on. But yeah, it's been a busy year. Got 20 pieces. I can't believe I was going through and counting them up. It's like, I think I probably got 12 done. It's like, holy shit, I did 20 pieces, which is crazy. John Allred posted that he did 40, and he paints full time. So yeah, that's pretty insane that I got that much done, to be honest. So 2019, hopefully I'll get 20 in again, hopefully more, as I get more proficient with certain techniques and stuff. But again, great year 2018. Looking forward to 2019. So everyone that has projects with me, again, I always want to thank you guys for trusting me with your projects, and especially prototype work, because you have people that have already pre-ordered your pieces and are expecting to get an awesome piece. So I really appreciate the trust in that. And for any future clients, I always get questions on, when can I get on your schedule? When can I get on your schedule? It's like, I'm booked solid again for like 18 months. So I'm not accepting any more contracts until I get through a bunch of this stuff. I do have a couple little things here and there. Like I have a head repaint that I'm doing for someone of a Magneto head. So I got some little stuff in the background. I got some repaints that I have to do that I thought I'd be able to get done earlier this year, but with my prototype work has gone insane. Where I thought I'd maybe do 1 or 2, I think I did 8 this year. So, and I think I'm doing all of Gravin's prototypes. And I told Marcus, like, dude, you have to slow down, or you're gonna have to wait, because I have to be able to work on my other stuff besides just your line. I'm very flattered that he's having me do them all, but they produce so much so fast that it's becoming tough to I'm having to balance that workload. So yeah, so here's to 2019. Another long video of me rambling on and just going all over the place. That's how my mind works, being ADHD and slightly mental. But yeah, can't say much more about it. Again, had a great year, lots of fun, lots of cool projects. There's always so much stuff coming out. So a couple of personal pieces that I'll be working on this year that will be for sale. I'll sell all my personal stuff. I'm going to knock out my personal Sosa Wolverine. He'll be up for sale. I'll knock out the Wolfpack's Wolverine. He'll be for sale. Those are the 2 big ones as far as like what I'm going to paint and sell this year at some point. And then I'm probably going to sell off just some of my bear kits, just because I just don't have time to do them all. There's just no way. And I don't have the space for it. So I think that's it of me rambling on. Here's to 2019. Thanks for a great 2018, and for everyone who subscribes to my channel and watches me ramble on and screw up and all that fun stuff. And I've had a lot of people tell me they've learned something, which is always a positive. I'm glad you've learned something or find my rambling on in videos interesting, because I know they're not the most exciting thing to watch. But as always, thanks for watching. This is Matt Morozik, and here's to 2019 and a lot of cool stuff coming up. So as always, thanks for watching. Catch you guys next time. Bye.